What's going on, guys? Welcome to Justin Smith channel. In today's video, we're going to be showing you how to put in and install the axle bushings that are actually in the axle housing that the 4-link arms or the radius arms connect to. So in this case, the axle is powder coated, so we're going to be being a little bit extra cautious. Make sure to tape everything up where there's powder. Anywhere that there's contact with the powder, tape it up. I use 3M green painter's tape and electrical tape. And all you're going to need is some 5/8 all thread, 4 washers total, and then we have 2 flanges and 2 of these little couplings to reduce the hole in the flange. Huge shout out to 11 Bangshaw. I will link his YouTube channel down below. This is where I learned this from, and I just wanted to make a video on how to do it as well. So just to show you guys in case you haven't seen his video as well. So huge shout out to Bangshaw. He has like an 18-inch lifted or 20-inch lifted 6.4 full frame off that he done in his driveway. Awesome guy. We're gonna be hanging out with him at Music City. So thank you for helping me with this, Bangshaw. Really appreciate it. And I'm gonna link all of this stuff down in the description box down below because I actually ended up finding it online. I bought all this stuff locally, but since we have the tags and the names and everything and the sizes, I will link all of this stuff down below. So I already have one bushing installed. So this is what they look like. These go in flush and then they're done. So here's what you're gonna need. This is a 1.5" flange, and then this is the little coupling that I was talking about, like the reducer, because normally the hole is too big. I picked these up at my local hardware store, but if you all don't want to run around town chasing and trying to find the exact size and everything, I'm going to link all this in the description box down below. So this is what it ends up looking like. This all thread is obviously on the long side. You could cut it to trim and cut it to fit. You know, you could trim it some, but I'm not going to trim it until I absolutely have to, which I think I'm going to over here. I'll have to over there. But literally we have our flanges, 2 washers, a nut, and then this 5/8 all thread going all the way through. Same thing on the other side. Now, these bushings press in flush. So to get them started and pretty much all the way in, you can use this setup right here. Now, after you get it completely flush, you will have to take some, this was actually a coupling that I cut a sliver off of. This is 4-inch PVC, and where that will go is right here. So you want this to be thicker than this little rounded recessed part where this extends out, and then this is going to sit right in there, and that's going to tighten it and pull it the rest of the way in. So I literally just slapped the impact gun right here, held this side, and drove that bushing in. So now we're going to go ahead and video doing this other side, and then that's literally all, guys. Then we have to do this side. This side I think we're going to have to do by hand without the impact gun. Use 2 open-end wrenches and just go slow and take our time. But this side we can literally impact it together, and I'm going to show you that now, all of this in progress. So before I set the tripod up right quick to video this, I want to say I'm not going to include anything about how to remove these bushings in this video, but I have a full axle teardown disassembly video to completely disassemble this whole front axle to get it ready for powder coat. I'll try to remember to link that video in the description box down below, but if I don't, it's on my channel. I've done a full teardown video on the rear axle and the front axle in depth. I show literally every nut and bolt on how to completely disassemble these axles. So check that out. If you need to know how to remove these bushings, refer to that video.
Not all these colors, like these colors too. Like, where's like a good 32.
I mean, I've done the bottom too, but. All right, guys, so we have this all taped up. I ran electrical tape around this outside where the flange will actually be pressing, and then I put painter's tape around this. I've done 2 layers of painter's tape on the outside. Over here on this side, nothing touches, so we're gonna go ahead and set that bushing in there, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of Dawn dishwashing liquid. Shout out to Scott's dad for this idea. He said to do this. So we done the other one without it, so we'll be able to see if it makes it press in there any easier. Hopefully it does. So we've got this all jigged up and just hand tight. And what this is gonna do now is press the bushing almost all the way in until it's like probably about this far from being all the way in, and it's flush on this side. Then we're gonna come in here and add this piece of PVC pipe, and we're gonna set it right here. and then we're gonna drive it the rest of the way in, just like we've got this other one. So I'm gonna go ahead, and it's a 15/16. Gonna put that on here. So we're gonna go ahead and start hammering down. So now what we're gonna do is pull everything off of this side so we don't risk damaging the powder coat. Hold this right here, pull the all thread out. Then we're gonna set this coupler on here along with this piece. Slide our all thread back through. Make sure that we get this seated on here as most evenly as possible. So now we're gonna just play around with this right here, getting it on there as centered as possible. So you want to get as much surface area of that PVC as possible. And it's also nice to have someone holding the axle just to be safe. So Scott's over here holding this axle, so then it definitely can't move or fall off the jack stands. If it does, then you can blame it on your friend. And we may end up needing to cut a new piece. Let's see if that one will go. I made this a little bit too short. If you make it a little bit too long, it's not gonna make a difference. It's not gonna make it like not work. So you'd rather it be on the long side than the short side. Story of my life. We're gonna pull all of this out. We're gonna pull all of our tape off. And we're done. Good to go. All the way pressed in. All right, guys, so that's gonna be how you install the axle pivot bushings in the Dana 60, I think it is, front axle. I hope this helped you guys out. Again, huge shout out to Bangshaw for the install way, and I'll be sure to link his YouTube video as well. For anything that I didn't cover, he actually covers how to press the bushings out in his video, so I'll be sure to link that video in the description box down below. I'm gonna go ahead and work on this other side, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it's gonna be a pain, but this will give you all plenty of information, and you'll have all the tools to do it. So you're gonna wanna play around with the length of your all thread on the other side, and you may not be able to do it with an impact gun because of the knuckle and everything, but we're gonna give it our best shot and get these put in. So we'll have another truck build update video coming soon. I just want to go ahead and make a video on this in case you guys were wondering how to do this and you want to powder coat your axles at home. Maybe you even have an oven to where you can do literally everything. Sandblast them, powder coat them, disassemble them, reassemble them, the whole 9 yards, and save you a bunch of money. So with that being said, guys, that's gonna be all for today's video. Huge shout out to Scott for helping me, and I hope that this helps you guys out. So always remember, everybody starts out as a nobody, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Here is the part number for that. So I know a lot of people don't really show the part number for these, so here's the part number for these radius arm axle pivot bushings. There it is again.